All right. Good morning, folks. Welcome to the Coffee Run with John from ProCraps here on Casino Gaming TV. I'm messing with my microphone. Just give me a second here. Sorry. This is the one I'm going to use at the table today. So I want to make sure that's on and working. Hope you all having a good Tuesday. Kind of a bummer of a day yesterday. As you know, we had another community tragedy. So we'll talk a little bit about that here coming up. But yeah, we're back at it, regular speed today. So let's jump in here and see where we are. Got to give my condolences again to the Robinson family, to Ed Robinson at Roll to Win. As you know, they lost their son over the weekend in an auto accident, and it's just one of those heartbreaking things, right? It's unbelievable that any parent should have to deal with that, go through that. But I was talking to Ed a little bit over chat last night, and I'm like, you know what? I said to him, I know it's hard, right? But I picture the Robinsons as being this super strong group. Like I picture, we were talking about like, just the heartbreak and everything else. You know what? I said, when I picture you guys, like when I say my thoughts and prayers are with you, what does that mean? Something different, everybody. To me, I picture the family. I picture them on their couch holding hands, right? And I see them both as being such strong people, right? Like if anybody's gonna, get through, quote unquote, get through this, right? It's them. They're going to be strong. They're a military family. They're kind of what military families are wired differently. You know what I mean? And it doesn't take away from the pain, obviously, but I picture Ed being so strong and being there for his family and his wife and all of that. So my heart is breaking for them, but at the same time, I got this sense of hope that they're going to come out of this as strong as they were when they went into it. And I think that, God bless you, Ed. God bless you to your family. And again, keeping your son in my thoughts all the time. Just so you I don't know what else to say. I say it's one of these things where there's no words for what we know happened. Also, speaking of bad things, Muckleshoot Casino here in Washington, a good friend of ours, from our chats and he's really a big on the Big AZ Discord. Derek Blackburn, was here for the week. He's still here, actually. He's here through this week. We got to play over the weekend. I've had people in town this week, and I've been able to get out and play because long drive to the casino, but also got a lot of things going on, and I haven't been able to kind of match up. But we got to play Saturday night. We went to this casino called Muckleshoot down in Auburn, Washington, which is it's a pretty good poke from here. We played for a few hours and we did okay. I think we both basically tied. I think I lost like $37 and he was exactly tied. 4-hour session kind of thing, went and had dinner with him and his friend Brandon. We actually ate, great restaurant and all that. It was about 12:45 or so. And we're like, it's just, we walked the floor. Tables were all pretty full. Like, it's just screw it. We'll go home. Right. So we were there from like 8 to midnight. Off we go, right? I go back inside. I hit the bathroom. Then I went, got my car and left. Well, guess what happened? At 1:30 in the morning, somebody in that casino got stabbed and killed at the craps table, apparently. There, you go search for it. Go search for Muckleshoot Casino stabbing. And it happened Saturday night. We left at about 12:45, 12:50. It happened at 1:30. We literally missed it by 45 minutes. And apparently some idiot, I don't know how he did it, because they've got metal detectors. You walk in there, all casinos now in our place do. You show your ID, it's a metal detector. Somehow this guy got a box cutter in there. Box cutter seems to be the weapon of choice for assholes. He went there to kill one of his buddies, to kill, it says in the police report, to kill an acquaintance or whatever, right? Couldn't find him. So he just randomly killed some dude at the fucking craps table. Just like walked up and just knifed a guy in the neck and slit his throat, and guy bled out there on the floor, like right. Isn't that crazy? And what he said in the report, I guess yesterday at the arraignment, he says something like, I wish I could find the exact wording of it. Actually, I do. Hold on. Let me hold on. I want to read it to you because it's such a stupid thing. It's like, this is like the most ridiculous thing that I can even imagine. So here's what it says. Hold on. It says, the ex-security guard, that's a different thing. He says, in newly filed court documents, police allege that Fuentes, which is the guy's name, told an officer he went to the casino to kill an associate, but could not find him. So he searched for someone else to kill. He allegedly told the officer that he saw the victim being a bully at the craps table and admitted to stabbing him in the neck. Police took a box cutter found at the scene as evidence. Can you imagine? Like, I mean, I hate to make light of it, but like, shit, we always talk about, you know, douchebag buys in mid-roll or all the dumb things people do at a craps table. And like, should we tell them? Should we be tough guys and be like, don't do that? Or this guy got freaking stabbed at random because the guy walked by and he thought he was being a bully. Can you believe that? So that happened on Saturday nights. Now we're dealing with that here locally. It's like, God, what a crazy situation, man. It's just unbelievable. So, you know, here we go. We have, you know, a perfectly normal, good veteran gets taken from us for no reason at all from the Robinsons, right? And then this other random, probably fine guy, like a 25-year-old kid gets taken out for no fucking reason, man. Just it's I don't understand it, you know. That knuckle shoot thing, the world is going to hell in a handbasket, and that's kind of it. There's your example. Wow, right? So let's get to it. Let's get to the daily paycheck here, or the review of it real quick. Anyway, I'm going to move ahead, and where are we at? So for April, we're up $4,100, which is okay, right? We have a good series of wins, right? We have $11,000 we won this month. Our average win size is almost $1,000. Fantastic, right? The problem is the two losses, right? Look at it. We're 86% win rate, but we're putting so much bankroll out there. When we get beat, we're getting beat like bad, right? 7,500 in losses. So this is the YOLO thing, right? I don't want to say it's safer, right? It's clearly reliable to go out there and go 2 hits and out, right? Work to come out, get your 2 hits and get the hell out of there. It works, right? More often than it ought to, right? Here, 86%. We're probably we should be about 80%, right? We're a little bit over what we should be. The problem with that style of play is your losses become so big. And we're going to talk about why that is today. This dovetails in today's discussion about unit sizing. But here we are. We're going out there for the most part, pretty calm in the beginning. Then I'm playing either a build-up, a stand where we are, which we did today, or a drawdown. The drawdown, we love the drawdown because it reduces risk. The stay pat, today I did 2,100 across, 2 hits for $500 each, and we're out, right? That's it. You're done. Your risk stays the same for a couple hits. It's like really going 204 across. And that's, again, the talk for later on today. Or you can do a build-up. And I went out there at the end just to have some fun with 650 across, right? Like a nice little tiny bet, basically going 640 across. And let's get 3 hits and get out, and 3 hits and get out, right? And it's low risk. You just need 3 hits. Guess what? We burned that 650 like 5 times in a row. It's hard. It's hard to build into huge profit, right? Unless you're going to play for it. I think that comes into the whole discussion about goals, right? So here's our overall. We're at 20,000 in profit overall, which is fantastic. We've crested another milestone there. Our buy-ins are going to start getting bigger. We're at $4,500 in the buy-in. We'll be at $5,000 soon. And hopefully we keep the streak going and keep building that thing up. So that's where the paycheck is right now. I'm liking how that thing is working out. Now, we talked about, or I mentioned briefly about the goals being your North Star. And I think the goals, and we'll talk about this in our talk today, goals being relative to your bankroll and your unit size is speaking towards your goal. And again, to get to the goal, in my view, I want to get there quicker. I want a strategy that accounts for my wins, that gets me to my goal as quick as lickety split. Okay. To do that, you need to have a bigger bankroll, play with bigger units, and for less time. So it's big bankroll, big units, less time. The bankroll we bring accounts for that. We're hoping that with $4,500, I'm going to get 2 cracks at it. I'm either going to come out of the gate and we're going to win. We're going to try it a second time and recover that or get close to it and be done. That's it. It's all or nothing. We've elected to play that way because I believe that time is our biggest problem, right? But between strategy and bankroll, we've kind of worked through that. And again, my mindset to connect that, right? In and out, and done. In, out, and done. If we have an excess win, we can take the excess and have some fun with that. But really, I'm not there to have fun. On the Daily Paycheck Show, I'm not there to have fun. Your goal might be to last for 4 hours. Okay. If I'm going to the casino to try and build money into my 401g account or try and earn some cash so that when I go on this cruise, I can buy the drink package or whatever my goal is, right? That's what I'm playing for. I'm in and I'm out, and nothing gets in the way of the goal. But if I'm going to a casino to meet a new friend and knowing we're going to play for a few hours and then have some dinner, guess what? My goal is different. My goal is not to go out there and pound them and get in and get out. My goal is to go there and last a while. Guess what? You're playing some come bets, a little bit of horseman, going to play for a tie most of the night because you want your money to last long enough, right? Your goal in that situation might be to hit a home run, right? In that case, a little horseman with 3 bets up top can turn into a home run if it happens, but really you're there to just kind of grind it out and make sure that you're still playing in 4 hours, right? That's discipline. Either way of that is discipline. Going in low and trying to build up and survive is just as disciplined as going in big, getting your hit and walking out. They're both need extreme discipline. So anyway, there's that. Today I want to get into this idea of a betting unit. So, we're working through this math series, this Gambling 301. It's all about the math. And so here we are in session 11. Can you believe that already? Session 11 of Gambling 301. The math I want to talk about today is betting units. And I think it seems really simple on its face what a betting unit is. But the problem is, we look at the chips or the checks as monopoly money. And another reason why the house always wins is exactly that. Now, there's a psychological piece and there's a tactical piece to this. So we say we are completely disassociated from our money, right? You walk in the casino, you never touch your money again. Like that's what it is. And they don't do it to help you out, right? It seems like today's day and age, you put your $100 into the machine, a slot machine, and turns into credits. And when you cash out, you get a piece of paper that says how much money you're worth, right? You're not, once you put it in, they have it, right? And think about this. They've got your money. You're exchanging $100 for a bunch of credits on a slot machine. You're exchanging $100 for checks at a craps or a blackjack table. You're exchanging $100 for chips at a roulette table. You're disassociated from it. Now, why? There's a lot of reasons for it, right? Mechanically speaking, chips are easier to deal with, right? They fit in your pocket. The dealers can work with them easier. If they're throwing hundreds around in $25 or $20 bills around, it's harder to deal that way. It's not a tenable situation. There's opportunity for counterfeit, fraud, everything else. So the chips, they represent game security for the casino. It represents ease of processing for all of us. We're used to it. But I'm going to tell you, it's not done for you in any way, right? The fact that it becomes monopoly money to you is a downside to you because throwing it out there, right? I'll give you an example. I was doing, and by the way, I'm tipping my dealers in craps a new way now. I've got a fun new way to tip them, which is pretty cool. I was doing dealers coming all night long. Dealers coming all night long was my thing. And basically on every roll for a shooter, I played a 3-point molly for the dealers. I put a buck in the come, let it go up, put a buck in the come, let it go up. If a come bet hit, I'd make it odds on the next one. And I kept them with $3 in action all day long. Didn't have to deal with the press and collect and all that crap. It was actually pretty fun. But anyway, I'm dropping bucks out of my rack all day long, right? We're pressing. We're getting $35 on the 5. And I'm like, okay, here's a couple of bucks, make it look like a $50 bet, whatever, right? 50 for one. You're just tossing chips around and you forget that it's money. You forget that it's money. And I say this a lot, right? If you had the dollars in your hand, right? If you had a stack full of money, right? And you put 35 of your hard-earned dollars on the table and they went, cool, here's $50 back because that number hit. Are you saying, keep it? You doing that with your actual money? Probably not, but it's chips, it's monopoly money. You say, fuck it, just keep the money out there, right? That's what we do. It's a complete disconnect from your actual dollars. Don't forget that, okay? But the point of today is to talk about units and dollars. And I want to get into some basic unit math. So here's the thing. What is a unit? A betting unit. It can be anything. It's an arbitrary thing for us to think about here, okay? A unit could be considered table minimum, okay? At a $10 table, let's say a unit size could be seen as $10, okay? if you're going to press me a unit to a craps dealer, they're going to press you by $10 in that situation, right? If you're at a blackjack table or baccarat, you're doing your own pressing, you're probably pressing by a full unit. Okay. A unit could be a part of table min, right? So let's say that you're looking at units as always a red chip, always $5. So you bet a quarter, a 1 unit bet to you. That's a 5 unit bet in your world. 1 unit is one nickel. You've got to decide what a unit means to you. If you're buying in for $500, you're going to say my unit size is 100 units, $100 $5 units. And in that case, your bets are made in, I'm going to bet 2 units across $64. I'm going to bet 1 unit a press when we win. So I'm in blackjack and I got a $10 bet. It's 2 unit bet. When it wins, I'm going to up my bet by 1 unit. Okay. Think about units being arbitrary to you. It's chip color. It's your bet spread. You've got to consider what portion of your bankroll a unit's going to be. Okay. It could be 100 to 1, right? 100 units in bankroll. If you think of it that way, that makes everything a little bit more tenable and more easy to manage for you. Okay. But always remember to convert your strategies to dollars. Even though you are betting units, a dollar is a unit which converts into chips or checks, and unit size relative to your bankroll. Get used to multiplying and dividing by 5, 10, and 25 to make things easy and even for you. Okay. Definitionally, chips, we call everything chips. Chips are only used in roulette. They have no monetary value. A chip is just a representation of a different dollar amount for each player. So I can buy in for $100 in roulette and say my chips are worth a quarter, 25 cents. You can buy in for $100 and my chips are worth $1. We both have, you have blues and I've got yellows. It doesn't matter. They're worth whatever we say they're worth. Okay. There's no, you can't go to the cage with those chips and turn them in. You have to, at the roulette table itself, they will color you up, take your chips and turn them into checks. And checks spelled that way can be exchanged for money. They are the currency of the casino. It's what we get. That's the monopoly money. We gamble with checks. Again, there's game security for that, right? They can't be faked. Again, there's no counterfeit checks because they've now got microchips inside of them and RFIDs. If you ever watch some of these, I love, by the way, gambling cheater shows on YouTube and Netflix are fantastic, right? There's a guy who was, I think was a construction worker, and he lived in Vegas, and he actually built a way to create fake checks. Like he went to casinos, took all their checks home. He had paints. He made paint to match. He hand painted all these chips, and they would go to the casino and they would buy in to a table for $500 and they would put their own fake checks into the game, play with that and lose a bet and whatever else, and kind of basically launder the money through fake checks. Now you can't do that because they have RFIDs. When you go to the cage now, every single check has an RFID. Even the dollars now are going to start having that. I think from 25 up they do for sure, but the 5s and 1s will, where they can run them over and there's a sensor in the table. What you don't know about casino security, there's magnetic sensors now in the tables. Just like your phone has the mag thing in the back, right? That you can like kind of put your phone and charge it. In any sort, like my desk has got a little magnet in it that I can charge my phone just sitting on my desk, which is pretty cool. At a casino, they've got that where the cashier's cages are, so they can actually take the chips and sort of run them over, and it'll light up with the legit chip. Right, you can't cheat anymore, which is kind of cool. So there's game security built there, but checks are currency, chips are not, and I think a lot of times we get that kind of confused when we think about it. So what I want to get into today, though, really is this idea of unit math and scaling things up and down. And I don't want to oversimplify it. But really, it's a matter of multiplying by 5, 10, 100, or whatever. Okay. And everything starts to repeat at the $100 level. As I've been learning how to deal, you get kind of like, oh my God, these numbers are getting so big, huge ass bets. It's all the same. Ultimately, everything is the same. It's just zeros on the end or not really. And when you scale up and down, and we'll talk more about some of this stuff tomorrow, but think about a strategy that you see somebody do. And they got, like me, I'm doing my daily paycheck, $5,000 bankroll. I'm betting $750 across or $650 across. You're going, oh my God, it's so much money, right? How do we normalize that? Well, you divide it by 10, whack off the zero, and you're playing at a human level, right? add zeros, and you're playing at the superhuman level. So when you see somebody on YouTube going with some strategy that's way up here, and you go, man, I can't play that. You're a crazy person, right? And I see in the comments all the time, how do I scale this down? Well, you divide by 10. Like, it's not hard to scale things back. So I'm going to go to my table here, and we're going to look at how to scale things down, scale things up, and show you how to where things repeat so you can see it, okay? Your units are also important because you want to know what a unit is for you and how you press in multiples of that unit. Again, if you're at a $25 table, but your unit is $5, you got to go into that thing knowing I am betting 5 units at base. I'm pressing by 1 unit, by one $5 unit. If your unit size is $25 and your presses are $25 inside. And you also want to know, pardon me, what your total spread is. So if you're going to do like a chase, some kind of a loss chaser, if that's going to be the way that you play, you got to know what your unit sizes are to know how much loss you got to chase in the end of it. So let's do it. Let's go to the table and let's do a little bit of unit math, a little bit of simplistic play, and give you an idea what I mean by scaling things up and scaling things backwards. And then we'll talk again here about goals and units. Let's go over to the table. Let's put some light on the situation. And let's see what we do here. Oh my God, I got a lot of money in the rack, don't I? Let's get my coffee too. Ton of money in the rack. I was playing around last night with this strategy that's 650 across. And it's kind of a good use case for this talk here, okay? This is what I was doing in the garage, by the way. 650 across. Now, how does that work? This one's not going to be a perfect match because there's going to be numbers in here that you can't actually do. And for reasons why. You want to look at the house edge today? Here we go. Let's go. There's $500. There's 650 across. And what I was doing was this. We'll get some greens here. 125 on the 5 and 9, 150 on the 6 and 8. It's 550. And then $50 on the 4 and 10. That was my 650 across bet. I love the 550 inside. These bets are so cool to play with. Now, you say to yourself, man, that's a lot of money. That's a ton of money. John's a crazy person. How do I play this at a normal level? What do I do as a normal bet size? Well, the thing is you can't quite get normal here, right? If I would say divide it all by 10, you can't really divide these bets by 10. So this is a terrible example maybe. But you would say, well, instead of 125, it'd be 1250. So let's actually put this back out here. We're going to go, I'll do 640 across because that's an easier bet to look at. Let's just do it like a regular size. We'll do 120, 6 and 8, and we'll do $100 in the 4. There's 640 across. Everything's $100. Okay, still a crazy person size bet, right? Normal size thing here. 640 across. What is the way to scale this back? So let's answer that question first. How do you scale a strategy up or down? Well, if I've got $5,000, I'm buying in for $5,000, 640 across, not that big a deal. You say that's a lot of money. But if you bought in for 500 and you went 64 across, which is, you look at this, it's the exact same size as we go. 64 versus 640 is a factor of 10. I bought them for $500. I'm willing to go 64 across. Is the same as saying I bought him for 5,000 and I'm willing to go 640 across. As a percentage of your bankroll, the unit size matches. So if you want to scale a strategy back, first thing you can do, divide by 10. Take the zeros off. 100 becomes 10. 120, which is a black and 4 greens, or 4 reds, becomes 12. 120 and 12, same thing. Okay? 110, same thing. 110, same thing in terms of a ratio. Okay? If I was a big time player and I went, yeah, 640 is nothing, I'm going to go 6,400 across because I'm buying in for 50 grand. I'm a huge whale, right? It's the same thing, right? Instead of 64 or 640, it's 6,400. You can times the base bet by 100, right? So it's 1,000, 1,000, 1,200, 1,200, 1,000, and 1,000. That's 6,400 across. It's all the same when you whack the zeros off. Now, that's a look at just basic scaling. So when you watch a strategy, right? Say, man, let's just say I'm playing this. I'm like, man, that's cool. Like, I really love what John's doing. I love this 640 across is the greatest thing I've ever seen on craps. I love it. But you know what? I'm not made of money. Matter of fact, I'm really, whatever. I only got $100. What do I do with a bubble crap? How do I make this bubble craps friendly? I've heard that comment before, right? Divide it by 10, the best you can, right? Or in our case, 100. Okay, divide it by 100. Take the zeros off. 100 divided by 100 is 1. 100 divided by 100 is 1. The same thing on this side, the 4 and the 5. It's by 1. Now these, you really can't divide by 100 because you can't bet $1.20. The machines won't let you do it on bubble craps, but you can go to a buck, or if you're loaded, you can go to $2 on the 6 and 8, okay, and get damn close to it. Instead of 640, you're at 6. Okay, again, you can't get the 20 cents. You can go to $8 across and be a real big spender, or leave it at $6 across, right? Relatively speaking, it's the same, okay? Big bets, divide by 100. If it's 64 across, divide it by 10. That's your bubble craps level, okay? Easiest way that I can get that to you. And again, if you're at $10 on the 10, like how do I take a $10 strategy to bubble craps? Divide it by 10. Divide it by 10, take the 0 off, and you're at $1. Remember, like, you got to go back to your grade school days, right? Remember how to do that kind of math, and it becomes pretty easy. So let's go ahead and set this back up with a 64 across bet, and we'll talk more about some unit sizing here as we go. I think my microphone might be off, right? Is that what's going on here? I'm saying all this great stuff, and nobody can freaking hear me, right? Let me go here. I got to change to this microphone. Can you hear me now? Okay. Sorry about that. I'm going to go back over here and continue talking. I think you can hear me still, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Sorry about the weirdness. All right. Let's do a little unit pressing type of thing. And I'm going to get out here and we're going to go 64 across. All right. I'm going to do a couple of things here about the units that I want to get through. So 64 across, and we'll do first a look at pressing. Okay. And again, what is your unit size here? It's a $10 table. So and again, if you bought them for $500 and you're at 64 across, let's take these out of here right now. We bought them for 500, we're 64 across. What is a unit size to you? Probably $5. You had 100 $5 units to get out here with. Now and we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 of them in play. Okay, so if I bought in for 500 and I've got 64 out here, that would be $36 coming back. Okay. I've got at risk from my 100 $5 units, I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 of them at risk right now. So think about it in that terms. Okay. When I look at unit size betting, you also think about units in terms of not just what your core spread is going to be, but also in terms of the confidence level of your bets. We look at like sports betting, for example. Guys will say that's a 1 unit play or it's a 5 unit play. It's because their confidence level in the bet winning, right? On the craps table, your confidence level should be higher here than here. It's why oftentimes you'll see this. You'll often see people doing 24, 6 and 8, more units, 4 units where you think you have a better chance to win, 3 units on the 5 and 9 where you have a good chance but a lesser chance to win, 2 units out here where you have the least chance to win. This sort of pyramid betting strategy, right, puts more units where you have a higher degree of confidence of winning a bet. So that's also a way to consider the way that you use your units from your rack. And again, 2, 4, 6, 8, plus the extra one makes 10 units, plus 2 in here. So 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 units in play now. But again, we're putting more units where we think we have better action. You go, oh my God, I can't do that. I can't go 24, 48, plus 30, 78, plus 20, $98. I'm not doing $98 across. I'm not made of money over here, right? Okay, what do you do in that case? You play bubble craps and you divide it all down. A dollar, right? $2 each here, $4 each here. You can scale that thing back by taking the zeros off. So think about your units in terms of not only how many there are, right, based on table minimums, but also they can represent your confidence in the bet, okay? We see this a lot, right? The point is 4. Let's say you're a dark side player and you got $25 on the don't pass. Okay. Your confidence in that bet might be like, yeah, I'm confident that bet's going to win. I'm going to drop the full max odds, right? 6x the flat. I'm highly confident in that bet winning. If the point is 6, you're like, yeah, you know what? I'm not all that confident in that one, right? I'm going to put a little bit less odds out here because I'm a little bit less confident in that. Your number of units is relative to your confidence in winning the bet. Probabilities aside, your confidence in it is where that money can go. All right, let's take a look here at some pressing. Okay, let's go back to the base. We'll go back to 64. We'll go like normal human. Everybody in the world plays 64 across, and here we go. Okay, when you are pressing your bets or collecting your bets, think about it again in times of units. If I'm out here and I'm considering these bets to be 2-unit bets, right? I have $500. I've got $105 units. I want to hit the 9 for $14. It's a 1-unit press. Press by 1 unit, which means one of my units, a nickel. In craps. Once your dealer knows what your unit size is, press by unit becomes obvious. You can bring back a little bit of cash. Okay. If you say full press, they'll double your bet. It's a 2-unit press. And again, you make that kind of press based on your confidence in winning it again, right? 1-unit bet gives you a little bit more power. Take some money back for yourself. In fact, you're taking back your bet, okay? In a bet that pays $14, a 1-unit press, bringing back 9, effectively gets you out of that bet. You have $15 out here. You got your money back in the rack. You've actually recovered almost the entire bet. Not a bad move to make when you're betting a 2-unit starting point and you're winning 1.5 to 1, like we're doing in here. Not a bad move. Consider what you're getting paid on your units. On a flat bet situation like the don't pass, or let's just use the field. Let's say you're in the field for 2 units and you win 2 units. You press by a unit, bring 1 unit back. You're halfway out of that bet. If it hits the second time for 3 units and you again press by 1 of your units and bring this back, now you've got your initial bet plus a little bit of profit play. Okay, so think about the size of your core unit. That would be your pressing amount. And by the same token, you got to look at your units and say, well, what happens if I lose? If I'm going to be a loss chase person, you got to think about that as well, right? How are you going to fix it when you inevitably get beat? Okay, 7 rolls, you lose $64. Okay, actually, let's do this. Let's actually pretend. Let's say we got the 9 to hit. We'll do 15 for 1. Okay, now we said we were out there for 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 units. And I just brought back a 1.5 units, which means we're out there for how many units now? We're out there for not 12, but 10.5 units are what's at risk because we brought back a 1.5 units. Let's say the 5 hits. Same thing, 15 for 1. Okay. Now we have 3 units back in our rack. We have 2, 4, 6 units back. We're out for 12. So in your mind, you've got to remember, I was risking 12. I've recovered 6. 2, 4, 6. I have 6 units at risk. If I burn here, what am I chasing on the next one? I'm chasing 6 units. So try and remember that count. And I actually do this a lot in my rack where I'll keep, when I'm pulling off the table, I'm keeping track here of what number of units I've got recovered. So my next moves become more obvious to me. And again, I think the unit math is kind of where that comes from, okay? So think about single unit pressing, double unit pressing. You can hammer press it if you want to. And if you lose in this situation, your decision then becomes, do I go back out there at 64 across again? And now I have to win 9 units, 3 to recover what I lost, and 6 more to cover what's out there, right? 9 units is what you're chasing in that situation. How do you win 9 units as fast as possible? You go back out there at $64 again, you got to win 9 times. This is why craps is so hard and why gambling is so hard, because when you lose multiple bets, like you do in craps and in roulette, to get them back, you got to recover the 1, 2, 3 that you were down from the loss, plus cover the 6 that you got out there again. That's 9. So it compounds itself how hard it is. This is where these loss systems come in, right? And so, for example, you can go out there and say, well, this time, we're going to change it. We're going to go 96. I'm going to increase every bet by 1 unit and go 96 across. Okay, let's put that out there and let's count as we go. Let's put 96 across. Now we're at how many units? We're at 3 units per bet. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 units are at risk now. 18 units at risk. We had 12 the last time. But the upshot is the bigger unit size means less number of wins that you need. For example, let's again say the 9 wins, right? That pays $21. That's 2 units. 1, 2 units back in the rack. Okay? With a dollar kicker. Let's say the 8 hits. Again, that pays the same thing. It pays $21. Well, what I do here is this. $21, cool. That is the first 6 units recovered. The first $64 is back in the rack. Now I'm starting on my second recovery. And I've got 1 out of what I had out here left. Okay? If I wanted to, at this point, we can regress down to 64. And again, count your units. I'm going to bring back basically 3 units. 1, 2, 3 units back in the rack. 1, 2, 3 units back. Take the whites for good measure. 1, 2, 3, 4 units back in the rack. You follow? So I used a couple of hits to recover the previous, get myself straight up for the second one. Let's say we catch a 10 here and it pays $18, right? We'll do 20 for 2. And guess where we are? We have our money back. There's 4, 5, 6 units. We've covered the bets. And again, do this here, make sure you're good. Now you have $64 twice in your rack. You are at bankroll neutral or 0, and you're playing. And then you're going to roll a 7 and say, well, that sucks. I'm going to start over again. But the point is, understand how many units you're down when that 7 comes. What does it take to recover? And a small progression, negative progression of your bets can accelerate how fast you get it back. So taking a couple of hits at a slightly bigger size and then coming back down again can get you back to health, right? But again, use your unit count as your key, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 units. Then we're going to go to 18 units. Then we're going to go to maybe 24 units and still take those same 2 hits and recover ourselves back, okay? But if you don't know how many units you have at risk, it's hard to make that transition for yourselves. And I want you to be aware of how to do the math on these things and understand what's out there. So we're going to talk tomorrow, about strategy building. And this kind of thing here is what we're going to get into. We're going to look at risk, unit reward, chasing loss. But until you understand that my unit today was a nickel, not $10. That's an important thing to see. And if we scale it up, you're going to go 160 across, which you can do. You might still say, you know what? I'm at 160 across, but my unit is still a nickel. Like I'm still small potatoes over here, right? I don't want to, take a $35 hit on the 9 and go, oh yeah, full unit press. My units are not quarters. This is a 5-unit bet to me, right? It's a 5-unit bet. So when it comes in, I can still do a 1-unit press and bring back the bet plus a little bit of profit on the first hit. That bet's paid for and it's increased, right? Think of it that way, and your recovery is a little quicker. You're getting some extra action out there, but you're also bringing a bet back. If it hits again, let's say the 5 hits this time, right? $35 on the 5, and again, 1-unit press, and now I brought back again 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 units in action. What's coming back? I've already got 10, 11, 12 units back out of the 35 I started with. And again, think of it in terms of that. Do your multiplication, right? 35 units to start. I've got 12 back, right? Any other hit? Same thing. Let's say the 5 pays $42, right? 1 unit up. Now I've got 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 units back. And again, we start with 35. I'm halfway home. Think of it in terms of that. I think we look at too many times, we consider these things to be dollars, and you're trying to do math. How many dollars have I lost? Think of it in terms of how many units I've got in play, how many units I brought back, how many units am I chasing the next time? All right. So there it is. There's your talk about units and confidence and everything else. I like the idea of the confidence-based betting. the sports bettors do because that makes sense in the long term, right? More money where you think you're going to win, less money where you think you're going to lose. And guess what? That kind of works, right? Here we go. Let's come on back. Come on back to my beautiful face, and we'll recap all that. Again, I have to, of course, refilm part of that because I had no microphone on. I always forget the microphone for some reason. Actually, I'm going to switch back to the desk. The desk microphone sounds so much better anyway. But yeah, your units are, I think, an important piece of this game. I think we forget about it, right? What is a unit to you? How much are you risking as a unit level, not as a dollars and cents level? Because again, if it's $100 as a unit or $5 as a unit, doesn't matter. Count the number of units that you're down. And frankly, think about your win goal in terms of units. I need to win. If I'm betting $5 and my goal is $25, let's say I'm a tiny little win goal, right? 5-unit win goal. Think about that, right? A 5-unit win goal. If you go out there 64 across and you have a 5-unit win goal, that's 2 wins, right? $14. That's actually almost 6 units in profit. You can be done, right? And think about how many hits does it take to get your unit win. And that's, I think, a piece that we tend to forget about too. How many wins do I need to achieve my goal based on the number of units, not the number of dollars? Okay, so there it is. Fives wants to see this applied to the Buttercup. You know what we're going to do? What time is it? It is 8:47. I've got 13 minutes. Because Greg is here, and Greg is my good friend. DJ is a craps genius. I would agree with you. Let's do it. You ready? Let's do the Buttercup. Let's play the Buttercup for Greg. Because Greg's here. I wish I had the song in my, I'll do the big screen. I wish I had that song kind of in my, a way to kind of play it with you. Can I zoom that in? What's going on there? No, I don't want that. I don't like how that screen looks. Anyway, why is it so jankety looking? Oh, you know what? Let me do this. I can't in good conscience leave it like this. I gotta change this. We're gonna go. This has to be. Sorry, everybody. I have to fix the way that this looks because I'm a nerd. I don't like things being out of place. Let's lock that in. Let's take this one here. All right, there we go. That better? All right, we'll lock that up. Here we go. Let's play Buttercup. Let's play Buttercup for Greg. Buttercup for Greg. The Buttercup is this: 110 inside, or I'm sorry, 160 across. We'll do it at, and effectively, let's do 160 across. We'll do it a couple times. We'll do it 3 times. 1, 50, 160, 160. Let me get some more greens over here. Right, 160. Going once. Going twice. 3 times. I have 160 out here on the felt. Let's make 160. Let's make some profit. The Buttercup is simple. We basically press the 6 and the 8 every single time, and we only collect on the 6 and 8. I'm gonna have the 10 and the 9 press the 8, the 5 and the 4 press the 6. And that's it. That's how it's gonna go. Here we go. We're gonna come out. We got a point of 10 for Greg. Here we go. Point of 10. We got a 5. And the 5 pays $35. 25. $35. Let me go get the. I gotta switch the mic again. Yes, I know. Switch the mic. There we go. Sorry about that. All right, Buttercup. 160 across. I got 3-4 shots at it. Okay. 4 and 5 will press the 6. The 10 and 9 will press the 8. We're only ever going to collect on the 6 or 8. So we hit a 5. That pays $35. I'm going to press the 6 by $30 and take a nickel back to my rack. There's another 5. That pays $35. We're going to press the 6 by 30. Take back that. And again, our unit size here is essentially a quarter. There's a midnight. Doesn't matter. There's a 4 hard. 2 hard for that pays $50. I got to get my nickels here. Let's make some whites out of that. $1 vig. I'll take the $50. We're going to press the 6 again by 1 unit. So I'll take a nickel out of my rack. Now the 6 is at 120. Just like that. Buttercup. We call it the buttercup because I fill these two things up. They fill the rack up. But the last time I did this live, I never hit a 6 or an 8. And here we go again. Here's the 4, 3, 7. So for that shooter, we end up going down by the whole thing. I brought back 29 bucks what came back. That sucks. Let's take the next 160 out. Got to hit 6s and 8s though. You got to hit your insides to make any kind of money with the buttercup. There's an 8. There's an 8. Of course, the puck was off, but here we go. 4, 3, 7. All right, great. Awesome sauce. We lose another 160. Let's take the 160 out of the rack, and we're going to be burning bankroll, baby. Burning bankroll in the buttercup. There's another 8. Boy, look at that. 2 8s we hit, both with the puck off. Isn't that the way it goes, right? 3, 2, 5. $35 win. You take 5 to the rack. Press that 6 up. Let's get one collection today. My goal today is one. Add another 7. Oh my God, 4, 3, 7. Jeez, Alou. Greg's here. I think Greg has tainted my dice. Another 160. Out the rack we go. We've tried it 3 times and have gotten zilch. Zilch. Another 8. Are you freaking kidding me? 3 8s we've hit, all with the puck off. And here comes the 7 right now. Hey, a 4, 2, 6. We got paid. Right, always collect on the 6 and 8. $35 coming to the rack. Always collect those two. Boy, we got a lot of ground to make up here, don't we? There's a 1, 3, 4. That'll pay 50 for 1. I'll drop a nickel out. Press up that 6. Come on, another 1. Another 4. That's great. It pays 50 for 1. I'll drop a nickel. Now the 6 is 90. I got $100 back in the rack. $105. We are cruising, baby. Let's go. 3, 2, 5. All right, we're never gonna hit a 6 or an 8. Clearly, 5 pays $35. Let's make that 6 look like 120 and bring back that nickel. Good gravy. Come on, give me a 6. Give me a 6. Aces, nothing. 6. It's a 10. Okay, well the 8 gets pressed now. This is fantastic. That pays 50 for 1. I'll drop a nickel. Get the 8 looking like $60. Bring that quarter back to the rack. And here we go. Please. Oh, we got one. Finally, a 6 or an 8, right? That's great. I pay $70. We can do $70 like so. That's awesome. We collect that, of course. And actually on my rack, check, I'm going to make these look like a black chip. 100, 150, 160. We got one of our lost shooters back. And we're building up our next one. Booyah. And that's the point. Okay, coming out. It's a 5. It's the point. 5 hit. Pays $35. We're going to increase our bet here by 30. Which makes the 6 look like 150 with a nickel change. Buck is off. Coming out. Miracle run here, huh? There's a 5. Come on, 6. Give me a 6. Oh, you knew it was going to happen. There's the 7. There's the 7. We lose the whole dang thing. What a huge bummer. We have 1 shot left, though. We did earn another shooter in that last round, right? We earned another 160. So here we go. Last shot. The last shot for Greg. Can we do it? Can the Buttercup do it? 9. It's our first 9, I think, in this run. 6 tray, 9. Midnight. Who cares? Come on. Nothing but 6s and 8s here, huh? That's another 4. Ah. All right, 50 for one. Drop a nickel. There's a 6, 4, and a 2. That's great. That's going to pay. I'll do 75 for 5 on that. And there's $100. So now I got 135. We're almost got a shooter back. Almost. 5. That pays $35. We'll put 30 on the 6. Take 5 back to the rack. 6 and 8. Tower strategy. We call it the buttercup because we fill them up and we say, don't break my heart, baby. Don't break my heart. There's a 4. Hard 4. Again, 50 for 1. I'm actually out of dollars, so I'm going to take it as $49. There's $49. We'll take 30 of that to the 6, a 1 unit press on the 6, and we'll take our whites and reds back. We'll make that 120. And here's where we need that 6 to come. Come on, 6. Let's get a black chip win on a 6, shall we? It's a 5. $35 again. We'll press that 6 by 30, which makes it look like 150 now with a stinking nickel coming back. Come on. Come on, let's do it. Give me a 6. There's a 9 by 4. That's the point. $35. I'll take a nickel. Get the 8 up by 1 unit. Puck is off. We have, by the way, earned another on this shooter, 160. So look at that. We have 160. We can play it again. We can play it one more time. Crazy town, right? It's so hard to win right side craps. My goodness gracious. 437. There's an 8, 6, and a 2. Hang on 1 sec. I got to check something real quick. Check my phone. I think I got a meeting here at 9:30. I want to make sure what time that is. It's at 10:30. Okay, cool. I got plenty of time. All right, here we go. Point is 8. Come on, 6. There's a 9 by 4. This is the buttercup in all its glory. $35 in the 9. There it goes. Come on. Give me one of those 2 in the middle, please. 5. God, the easiest numbers to roll, and we can't get anywhere near them. $35. 30 to the 6. Now it's at 180. Good gravy. If I took these 2 down, I got 2 more full cracks at it, right? But the whole point of it is to make a bunch of money in these 2, and I can't roll a 6 or an 8 to save my hide. 5. Oh my gosh, look at this. Another 5. Another $35 winner. Jeez, Lou. Okay, $30 goes to the 6. That's going to make it $210. Woo, baby. Woo, baby. And there's the 7. Of course we don't get it to hit. My gracious. Can you believe the luck, the lack of luck that we have? And honestly, if I pull these 2 down, look where we were. If I put them back to like where we started with them, right? We had $240 out there, right? That's almost another 2 cracks of this damn thing. So there it is. There's the buttercup in all its glory. Every time I've tried this live with you guys, I've never collected on the 6 or 8. Like literally we had 1 collect for $70 today. Everything else has been a travesty, right? We $5 at a time. We had, I think, 2 $70 wins and that's it. Unbelievable, right? Unbelievable just how bad my luck can be. It also shows you that the best bets in the house aren't always the best bets in the house. Very often you'll bet the 6 and 8 only and sit there and watch them just burn all day long, right? Even if we were playing a regular 6-8 strategy, we never would have got any hits. There it is. There's the buttercup. Love it. Yeah, awesome sauce. Isn't that great? Sabotage. There it is. And Greg is singing the song. Why those comments go super high, I don't know, but Greg is singing the song. James says, show John. This is totally for fun. This is 100% for fun. I'm just out here goofing around, right? I like to play the right side stuff in the morning shows because it is fun. We're having a good time with it. And it is literally just, let me go back over here. It is literally just to have a good time. Like most of these things that I'm doing here are just goofing around. I would not recommend you play that way. Obviously, that's kind of a crazy thing. It's one of those things though. That strategy is fun. It's like a fun bubble crap strategy. Like take the bucks and put them on the 6 and 8, and for $6 you can sit there and grind away. But isn't it just the way? Isn't it just the way? Like every time you're on something that you think is kind of cool, you never hit it. Like that 6 and 8 has a good following. Like I know Ryan from Mark the Points rolled it out. I know Crappy's rolled it out, and they've probably done well. I've never got that to work. I've never seen that work well. I saw a guy in a casino do it once, and he won a lot of money on it, but I've never been able to pull it off. That's my luck right there. That's my luck. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. It is 8 or 9 o'clock. Y'all have a good Tuesday. And again, I'll leave you with what I say all the time here, which is God bless all of you. And it bears a special meaning today. Grab a loved one, give them a hug, give them a kiss, tell them you love them. Talk to everybody. Like somebody said yesterday in chat, I think Lou said it. Talk to everybody like it's the last time you're going to talk to them, because you just never know. Okay. Thoughts and prayers out to the Robinsons. Love you, Ed. Love your family. I know you're strong. Lean on us. We're here for you. We are all lifting you up, pal. So God bless everybody. See you tomorrow. Bye.